The Joker won. Harvey's prosecution, everything you fought for. I'm done. Whatever chance you gave us of fixing our city dies with Harvey's reputation. We bet it all on him. The Joker took the best of us and tore him down. People will lose hope.
They won't. They must never know what he did.
5 dead. 2 of them cops. You can't speak that.
But the Joker cannot win. Gotham needs its true hero. You either die a hero, or you live long enough to see yourself become the villain. I can do those things because I'm not a hero. Not like Dent. I killed those people. That's what I can be.
No, you can't. You're not.
I'm whatever Gotham needs me to be. Call it in.
A hero. Not the hero we deserved, but the hero we needed. Nothing less than a knight. Shining. I'll hunt you.
You'll hunt me. You'll condemn me. Set the dogs on me. Because that's what needs to happen. Because sometimes the truth isn't good enough. Sometimes people deserve more. Sometimes people deserve to have their faith rewarded.
Why is he running, Dad?
Because we have to chase him.
Okay, we're going in! Go, go!
He didn't do anything wrong.
Because he's the hero Gotham deserves. But not the one it needs right now. So we'll hunt him. Because he can take it. Because he's not our hero. He's a silent guardian. A watchful protector. A dark knight.
Me and the Lord, we got an understanding. We're on a mission from God.
They shouldn't have given you ashy blokes you two.
Cursed be the ground, for our sake. Both thorns and thistles it shall bring forth for us. For out of the ground we were taken, for the dust we are. And to the dust we shall return.
Hey, yo, lesson here, babe. You come at the king, you best not miss.
All right, good people. All right, good people. Hope y'all can hear me. Clocking in. I wanted to respond to this because when I did the interview with Jeff, I didn't think it was that big a deal. I really didn't. And some of the things I said about marriage and divorce and paternity, all that kind of crap, I said that before. I've actually done videos on this. So it's not new. I've done a lot. I don't do them. I'm not like Medium Man. Okay, Medium Man will take a trend and he'll do 3 months on the same trend. Okay, or same 2 or 3 trends. Okay, I don't do that. I'll do a video here and there because I actually want it highlighted. So since I don't do it as a trend, that I don't, you know, I don't stand on my square or plant my flag on one particular trend. People forget that I've done it, and people are shocked that I say things. And this is going to be one of them, you know, because and I love Doc. I love Dr. Thunder, man. One of the best saxophone players I've ever heard. Okay, great guy. He's a religious guy. I'm a Gnostic, so. Some things we don't always see eye to eye with, but for the most part, man, very stand up, very admirable man. Okay, what's that? He's he's a very honorable and admirable man. So let's get that out of the way. So I have nothing against him. He has his opinion. I have mine, but we're gonna go through the portion that he disagreed with me and Jeff. Now this stuff, I have no idea. He's not the only one. You know. He's not the only one. Jeff would disagree with it more, except for one thing. He's already seen it because he's actually a therapist, right? And there's 2 people that see something very similar that I see. Okay, it's lawyers and therapists because they hear these same stories pop up time and time and time again. So there's no room for illusion or delusion with therapists and lawyers, okay? Because they like therapists, lawyers, doctors, and doctors see us on our worst days. They don't see us on our best days. They see us on our worst days. They see the dark side of us constantly. Okay, so let's get that out of the way. A good bar Monday. Hey, what's going on, Doc? Hope you enjoyed the conversation, Doc. Like I said, I did a book review with Doc, and I hadn't read that book had to be 12 or 13 years. Okay, so I kind of flipped through it, but there's so much new material coming in. I can't always go back and reread a book that I haven't seen in a long time. Even though I think what I'm going to do for my Patreon, because I'm getting old, I was talking to some of my, I am old, okay, and I don't know how much time I'm going to have left on this planet. So what I think I will do for my patrons is go through the book of Tragedy and Hope. It's because I think that is a seminal book as far as the way the world works and and politics and all that kind of stuff. So I think I'll go through that. There's a lot of stuff with Tragedy and Hope, and especially with Carol Quigley's book, The Evolution of Civilizations, that probably need to be highlighted. I touched on it. I think I will start doing that. Okay, since this is the end of July, I'll probably do that. Start doing that maybe the first week of August. I'll start doing that, and I'll actually put the lessons up on Patreon, and I'll try to do them daily. Anyway. So, without further ado, let us get started, okay? Adrix batting first. He's number 1. AB Media. Instant Media batting second. All right. Okay. Channing Green batting third. Okay. He's going to clear the bases. And the shortstop, Nelly. How did a shortstop named Nelly get to be cleanup? Okay. Nelly's a shortstop, right? Doc, what's going on? Like I said, I have tremendous respect for Doc. Doc knows that, okay? But the thing is, we're going to go over what I disagree with, okay? And I want to know, Doc. That's what I want to know. Everybody else can give their opinion, okay? Everybody else can give their opinion, and they'll take their opinion, they'll agree or disagree. But everybody, when they disagree with me, they want to see books and studies, okay? Okay, they want to see paper. Why is it I'm held to paper and nobody else is, okay? Jeff can say what he wants. The women can say what they want. CGA can say what they want. Other people can say what they want. But when it comes to me, I want to see a study. I don't believe you. I want to see a study. I wonder why. Why is that? Okay, because I hear that all the time. Everybody wants to see paper with me, and I said, okay, well, if you're gonna disagree with me and want paper, you should bring paper back to me. You should actually come with a study, say this is the reason I disagree with you and your point, and this is a study that says so. Okay, and I very seldom get that. I always get people wanting me to show them a study. I very seldom see people disagree with me with a study. The heavy hitters are in here early today. Jaron, what's going on? Private Broadcaster, what's going on? Hurricane Ja. Shade, Creed Therapy, what's going on? Jesse, what's going on? Rude Boy, Kenneth, what's going on? No Fear. Clark, Itnats, Corey, McPherson, Fernando's, J-Man, Terry Golds, what's going on? Fast Attack, what's going on? Horowitz. Yeah, great scene. Yeah, that's why I started with The Dark Knight, man. Okay, you either die a hero, okay, or live long enough to become the villain. Okay, you either die a hero.
You either die a hero, or you live long enough to see yourself become the villain. I can do those things because I'm not a hero.
I can do those things because I'm not a hero. Okay. Detro, what's going on? Mark, what's happening? Sir Him, Palm Beach Mike, Geek Surgeon, hit that like. Michael, what's going on, man? Chaos, what's going on? Halsey, what's happening? Martin Muhammad, what's going on, man? Martin Muhammad can tell you. Martin Muhammad's been through it. He can tell you the shit that I say. The shit that I say, okay? You can see it in your life, okay? When I state a fact that I've seen, I state a fact, okay? I can't always readily pull it up, okay? But things when I say something that I've seen, okay, a study that I've seen, it's a study. When I say to give an opinion, like say women cheating, that's an opinion, okay? If people want to see studies on an opinion, nobody else is held to that standard. I wonder why. Chance, what's going on? Are you catching strays this far out? Hey, man, there is no there is no medium range or maximum range for me catching a stray. Okay, Dr. Goodbar, what's going on? Chance, Michael, what's going on? Rude Boy, man, it's always Jermaine's fault. Palm Beach Mike, I don't mind people disagreeing. Okay, you can disagree with my opinion, but the thing is, everybody wants to see paper. Philip D, what's going on? It did. It looks like others did too. Okay, cool. You enjoyed it. Okay. Take your shot. You better not. Yeah. We come at the king. And my young boy, what's going on? Marvin, what's going on? When it comes to marriage, it seems men in love, women in business. People, and Doc had a problem, you'll see Doc had a problem with me calling it a business, okay? Every business is not there to make money. You can either choose to look, that's something that you got to understand women or love them. You can't do both. That's something that Stardust or Thinking Ape said. God, I heard him say that. God, it's got to be 13 years ago. It's very difficult to love and understand a woman at the same time. Calmness and irony are the only weapons worthy of the strong. True. John Bull, okay. Who's John Bull? Habari Gani. Yeah, I'm gonna have to do a class on it. Actually, how I got into YouTube was actually doing a study on Quigley's tragedy and hope, and actually put it up for a guy in the DoD. Michael Malice, what's going on? Grab Eddie. Salve Hey, what's going on? Salve Hey, he knows, man. Salve Hay's black pill, okay? And so Salve Hey just sent me a, I think I might do it. He just sent me an article where in Panama, okay, they're actually making false paternity illegal, believe it or not. So this stuff is spreading. Indigo Flow, 2Triv, Chance, Marvin Jordan. There's my apple. I still want that neck, girl. You know that neck does something to me. Palm Beach Mike, what's going on? I am I am Jermaine. If you need somebody to blame, I am here. Okay. You're either die a hero or live long enough to become the villain. Kenny in the building, what's going on? Easy. Adriano, what's going on? Age of Machines. Okay, they want us. I did see that, man. I did see that with the repo man. Okay, I got to do that one. His son found a girl at that age. Oh man, he's screwed already. Grayscale, what's going on? Ninja person, what's going on? When Ninja person said another dog found a bone, man. So we in good stead. Found a big one, a big juicy one at that. Love from the UK. What's going on? What's going on, Todd? Had a convo about marriage being a business yesterday. Many men are simply love. Well, you know what the thing is, okay, Dr. L, is I had no problem with men believing what they need to believe in to get to what they want. I had no problem with it, okay? I'm not saying if you're going to have an argument about the institution or the instrument we call marriage, you got to go do the research. That's all I'm saying. Okay? I don't care why you get married, okay? My thing is, and I'm going to say this, okay? The world does not run on should. The world does not run on should. The world does not run because it's supposed to. Okay? The world runs the way the world runs. And the thing is, you got to accept that. I'm black pill. And sometimes that's too harsh for people. Willie R, what's going on? Incognito Blue, what's going on? Xander with a Z, Inspirational Truth. And at JM, what's going on? All right, go ahead. Let's go ahead and get started and jump right on into this. Okay, this is going to be Dr. T reviewing my portion, even though it was like damn near 2 hours, okay, of an interview. Okay. Hold on, wrong one. Share screen. Oh, I want before we get started, I want to show Dr. Thunder this one, okay? And this is out of the Medium because people always want paper and say, why do I say? And even though this is a personal belief of mine, okay? You don't have to believe it because Jeff asked what my most disagreeable take was, okay? He didn't ask me for a research. It wasn't a debate, okay? And I gave him my personal, and I actually explained why I felt that way. I don't care whether you disagree with it or not, because Jeff disagreed with it, okay? But he asked me, why do I feel that way? It's because of what I've seen, okay? Because most of the cheating studies are self-reported. And guess what people do? They call lie, especially who? Women. They lie. Okay? Okay. This is the Medium, okay? And this is a study was actually done by Mack and Murphy, I think it was. Okay, 65% of women cheat for this one reason. Are you overlooking it? Okay, go ahead and put that in. Go ahead and put that in the chat because people want paper. People think I'm just pulling this stuff out of my ass. Okay. Let's start off with that one. I want to get that one out of the way because that bothered him more than any other one. Okay, so I see stuff like this all the time, and it just actually verifies what I already think. Okay. All right. Now let's get into the actual video. Okay. I think this is the one. Yeah, this is Dr. T. Dr. Thunder about black love. You notice how they don't censor the women for cheating. I mean, okay. The thing is, and this is why I told Jeff that most men and women disagree with my take on cheating, is because the women don't want to get caught because they want to appear as angels, okay? Because they want the treatment as angels, and men don't want to believe that their woman will cheat on them. I mean, 80% of the guys hate to believe that somebody else's woman will cheat on their man, but they don't want to believe that their woman that they take care of, that they sleep with, that they date and have to pay for, will cheat on them. They don't want to believe that, and that's and I get that's the one thing I get pushback from most men is women cheating, even though they know that they cheat. So let's go ahead and get started with this one, okay? This is Doc reviewing my interview with Jeff, okay?
Obviously, it takes two people to reproduce. But with respect to giving access, who controls the access to sex? Is it the man or the woman? Okay, of course, it's the woman. Okay, now there's some exceptions to this, right? And we're with respect to force, but that's not what we're talking about. Typically, what we're talking about is women controlled access.
Okay. I think
this is our main event. BGS and Jeff St. James had an interview yesterday, and I didn't see the whole thing, but I piped in around where we're going to start watching, where they were talking about marriage. Now they weren't talking about black love really, but for the most part, the people watching these platforms are black men, and black men our tendency is to get with black women. So in essence, the discussion was about black love, though they were not expressing that, expressing that.
I don't know why we equate marriage and this kind of stuff with black love, okay? Because that is something that black womanists and black feminists actually talk about. They talk about black love, okay? Which there's a whole book by Diane, which Thunder should interview her, Diane Stewart from Atlanta. She actually wrote a book, Black Women and Black Love, and her whole book is about framing the whole book and black and women's struggles about marriage and relating through black love, and how the whole white society is against black love, which I find exhausting. But anyway, continuing.
Directly, put it that way. Okay, so marriage in 2026 was the question. And I've got this already dialed up to the right place, and we're going to catch about the last 25 minutes of this interaction. Let's see where we go.
Yeah, true. I've always thought that too as well. And last two questions on my end.
Okay.
2026.
Ooh.
What are your honest thoughts today about marriage for men, and especially black men now?
Okay. Marriage. Notice my breath is because I don't really want to get into it because I know it's contentious, and I know men and women get into their freaking feelings about marriage. Okay. and especially when it comes to the black community. I don't know why. I know that the winter soldiership goes off when it comes to black women. Dr. Johnson talks about this all the time about protecting mama, and that is thoroughly planted in our brain about we have to protect her, we have to comfort her, we gotta. So in other words, we always think we gotta save mama. So anyway, that's an aside. Okay, that might be a rant. The best partner available, number one. Okay, go into it with a black pill lens. Okay, what am I getting out of this marriage? Not because she's nice, yada yada yada. What do I actually want out of this marriage? Okay, not like I said. And this is Guy Colbert. My grandma had 4 men I know about. I have no idea who my biological grandfather is, and I had 2 step granddads. Okay, you cannot make this shit up, man. Okay, you can't make this shit up. You can't make this shit up. I feel comfortable not where they actually rub my back. Okay, what am I actually getting? Okay, because she could actually be gone in 5 years. Average black marriage is like 5 years. Okay, average marriage is 8. Okay,
Yeah.
Average black marriage, depending on where you look, is 5. Okay, the average white marriage is now down to 8. We're talking about younger people now. We're not talking about older couple. Even though now you got gray divorce on the other end, which is a whole different story. Okay. Got great divorce on the other end, where you got Gen X, men and women getting divorced. Okay, in their 50s and 60s now. So from 45 on up, you get a whole lot of these gray people getting divorced. So that's a whole different story. So in fact, that's the fastest growing divorce category in the United States. It's not the young people; it's the old people getting divorced at the other end. A lead attorney said, if you get 10 in a prenup, okay, you're a winner.
Yeah.
Okay, now I'm going to take it. So here's my issue thus far.
See, here's the issue. Okay, and even though he's not an attorney, he's not a therapist, he has an issue with it. Okay, I could show you at least 3 lawyers, divorce lawyers, that will tell you the exact same freaking thing. One black and one white. At least one black. Two online say the exact same thing. They've been interviewed. They tell you the exact same thing. Anyhow, continuing.
And I understand being aware of your surroundings and being sober-minded, being sober and being vigilant. Right? I get that.
Doc, if you want to come up, Doc, just put a 1 in the chat, and I'll drop the link for you. If you want to, you don't have to argue from the chat. Okay. Okay. And the thing is, Doc. Okay. You are red pill, and you are you're religious. You're red pill. You are very strict. Okay. I understand that. You got a very firm, strict belief. I get that. But I'm black pill. I'm a Gnostic. Okay, I'm religious, but I'm a Gnostic. Okay, Gnostics deal with reality. Okay, this is the environment that you're in. I've been talking about this crap for 40 years. Okay, this is the environment that you're in. I struggled with this stuff when I was in my 20s and 30s. Okay, and they told me that this crap that you see now is coming. So but anyway. If you want to come up, I will drop the link, Doc. You can come on up.
And I applaud understanding in the general.
Yeah, I mean, the thing is, I understand that. You asked a question. I give very good, solid reasons why I say what I say. Okay, especially for black people. Okay.
Statistical category, black community, general statistical category, how often these marriages fail. Okay, how often? So I think it's like 5 years or something like this is the average length of a marriage in the black community. So, and that's terrible. That's abysmal. It's horrible. And if they had kids or not. So often is the case they'll have kids and then they still get divorced within 5 years or so, or earlier even.
And then they'll put it on TikTok and brag about it.
And that's even worse because now you got the kids involved in this and like this. So it's a terrible sort of situation. Now, I did a review of the video that BGS is referring to with the lead attorney and him talking about basically trying to redefine what is a successful marriage.
He according to his data, okay? According to his data. If you go in, if you lead these freaking kids, unless you don't want marriage at all. If you don't want marriage at all, and you don't want people to get married, at least try, then, and you want to lead them into saying, okay, your goal is to death do us part, and if you do it, you gonna have a whole lot of suicidal men. A lot of white men had to get over being suicidal because of this shit, because they put their all into this fucking marriage, thinking it's gonna make it to the end, and when the boat sinks, then they want to hang themselves. Okay, I'm a realist. I'm sorry. And the lead said the exact same thing. I can show, there's another attorney that says the exact same thing. He's a white attorney, okay, and he's a very high-paid, high-powered attorney. He deals with high-powered people. He doesn't even deal with regular people. He deals with high-powered, rich masters of the universe type people. He says the exact same thing. He said this thing, getting married as much as you want, just get a prenup. Look at Tyrese. Tyrese got his black mulatto goddess, okay, that got married to. How long does marriage last? 2 years. And Tyrese got money, fame, and fortune, okay?
Marriage. And I disagreed vehemently with lead attorney on this then, and I disagree still. 10 years, if it doesn't work, if you get 10 years, contextualizing a divorce after 10 years as being successful, I think is hogwash.
I mean, according to the environment that you're in, okay? According to the environment, got to remember, marriages is an instrument, okay? Now I'm going to actually redo the video I did, call from instrument to an institution, okay? Institutions are started off as instruments to actually shape human behavior for a particular reason. It becomes an institution over time, and people start worshiping the institution instead of realizing it is for what it is. Okay.
You talking about James Sexton?
James Sexton is one of them. Okay, but the thing is, Quigley talked about from a instrument, which is a man-made structure to actually get outcomes, okay, and it morphs into an institution. Same thing with religion was an instrument, okay, for belief, okay. It became an institution, became document. In fact, there's a book I always talk about. I said if you're gonna be a Gnostic, start with that book first. It's called The Evolution of Religion by Churchward, okay. There was no marriage before they knew the role of the father. They didn't marry people before. Okay, that was created when they started husbanding animals, and they noticed that to get offspring they had to mate a male with a female. And they said, "Oh shit, okay, that's where babies come from." And then they created this structure called marriage. And the whole totems that's where the totems come from. The totems that say, okay, to prevent genetic disorders, because you can't marry this group can't marry within this group, okay, because you're going to get all these genetic disorders, okay. All this stuff is built, okay. These are all structures that are built, and we've coded it into what? An institution. So I'm not saying what you can't or cannot believe. I'm like I said, there's two. Doc, you know me, okay? On my channel, you very seldom hear me speak of religion or religious beliefs or something like that. There's a reason for it, because I'm a Gnostic, okay? And I believe everybody's belief is sacred. I really do. I don't. If you believe that an ant is God, I believe your belief is sacred, okay? Because that's what you believe. I'm not going to argue your belief. But thing is, I don't argue beliefs. I argue facts, and I argue what? I argue environment. Okay. You change the environment, you're gonna change. You're gonna change the instrument. You're gonna change the institution. Okay. There's a reason that divorces went up is because you changed the environment. You actually released the rules and took the rules off the people, and guess what happened? The institution is going to change. Okay. Say a phone is supposed to last you 100 years. Okay. Let's say it's supposed to last you 100 years. All of a sudden, you change the way the phone is made. You change what the phone does. Now the phone doesn't even last you 3 years. Now I'm disappointed because the phone died in 3 years. Can't be disappointed because that's what it's designed to do. Okay, the thing is, what is the design? What's it for? And then what's supposed to be the outcome? If you change the environment, guess what's going to change? You can argue that all you want. You disagree with it, but the thing is, guess what he's telling you? If the average marriage lasts 5, and you make it twice that, or sometimes even 4 times that, guess what? That's a success compared to the average. Am I wrong?
I mean, it's better than average.
Okay. The thing is how do you define success? Okay. In other words, if say I'm on a battlefield, okay, and say I'm in the Ukraine, I'm on the battlefield and we getting wiped out, okay. And my job to be successful is actually come home unscathed, right? But the thing is, I come home with my lip blown off, okay. Comparatively, no, that's not a win. I got my leg blown off, but guess what? 90% of my compatriots died. Okay, to me, being alive is a win. I'm missing my leg. I got a couple of bullets in me. Guess what? Compared to everybody else, guess what? That's a fucking win.
Yeah. So my disagreement with the lead attorney. It's the same. I mean, I have the same disagreement. My issue was. He was using his own situation and then in real time redefining marriage. In that particular video that
his own situation.
He himself was his own situation. He was married for 10 years.
And guess what? And guess what he does for a living now? What does he do for a living?
Yeah, I'm not sure that what a person does for a living necessarily makes them impartial. It might actually make them more biased in a particular direction.
It could, but the thing is, okay, there's no way I can argue with you about music, okay? Absolutely no way I can argue about music because that's what you do for a living, okay? You've been doing it since you were a kid. I can't argue with that. Your opinion is going to be way more valid than mine because I don't do it for a living, okay? I can have an opinion about music, opinion of who's the best saxophone player, what the best song is, but the thing is, it's not going to be even close to what yours is because that's what you do for a living. He does that for a living.
But what if you know how to read music? You know how to read the treble clef. And I'm telling you that the center line is a C sharp. And you know that the center line is not a C sharp. Are you still going to, because of my experience, defer to me?
It depends on what it is. Number one, if you've been playing your whole life, you're probably not going to make such a rookie mistake.
That's true, but we know that there are
and
co-sign all kind of foolishness.
I mean, experts co-sign foolishness for different reasons. Okay. For different reasons, because they only I can tell you because what's going on right now with the Ukraine war and the Iran war. Okay, you have experts, okay, that think they're smarter than everybody else. and they're willing to take that 1% risk is because they think they can pull it off. Okay, not that they don't know, is that they think they're smarter than everybody. But thing is that him saying it, him being an expert, him saying that, and then when you look at the data tells you the exact same thing that he's saying.
Well, no, but the data didn't say. So so I don't disagree with any data that he presented. What I disagree with is
his framing.
Naming something. It's the framing of something that is still a loss, but framing it as a win. It's not a win. It's still a loss. Now it may be because the environment is different. I agree with that.
Yes.
But it's still a loss, and everyone involved still loses.
Depends on what the objective of the situation is. That's the objective.
So say if the objective is the primary objective for the institution has been children.
Yes.
Right? Is to provide the best situation for the kids.
Yes.
So 10 years, say you have an 8-year-old and a 3-year-old.
Mm-hmm.
That's going to be utterly destructive for them. That's not a win. That's a loss.
Like I said, wins and losses depends on how you frame it. Okay. So if mommy and daddy leave and split up when the kid is 3, which is worse?
Ultimately, I mean, because they've done they've done studies on what happens to people as they become of age.
Mm-hmm.
They don't really ever get over them. So the damage is done, and now granted, it's possible to do less damage. Sure, in situations where there's something abusive happening, or something crazy going on, then obviously that's going to be better than
like I said, the world doesn't work.
But we're talking about,
okay, go ahead.
About women graduating from divorce. Graduating from marriage.
Yeah.
Not for reasons that make any sense.
I mean, the whole dispute started was about LeVar Ball, right? Married 30 years, had 3 successful children, earned plenty of money, blah 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 blah. And people said that's a loss. It's because it wasn't Deaf Duos Park.
So this is why I would call it a loss.
Okay.
I would call it a loss because even once the kids are adults, it still affects them. And it affects the decisions that they're going to make. So you still have the fact that when people get divorced, it's more likely that the kids of divorce are going to get divorced.
Not necessarily. Not necessarily.
You're right. It's not 100%.
It's not. Most of the people that got divorced in recent times, they got a divorce where their mother and father were still together. Go figure. That there's more factors to that than that.
Yeah, you're right. Because the environment obviously is.
That's what I'm saying. The environment is the biggest factor. So the thing is, how I reframe things according to the environment. Okay. Now people can disagree with it, like LeVar Ball. Since I'm in Cali, okay, and I've seen this stuff go down, okay, with people getting married 3, 4, 5 times and all this kind of crap. And the great divorce is a big thing right now, in all over the United States, and people are freaking out about it, okay. But the thing is, LeVar Ball is a special case. It's because he was married 30 years. It's because all his kids are grown and successful, okay. And the institution of marriage was created for why was it actually created? To raise children, okay? Not raise grandchildren, raise children, okay? Once you get 18 years old, you are considered what? RAISAD, raised, okay?
Right.
Okay? It's not to get you to 40. It's not to get you to 50. It's not to get you to 6. It's to get you to 18. Well, it used to be 15 and 16. Okay? And normally, in back in the day, death to us part came because most people didn't live past 40, 45. Okay, that's how come your Social Security is set up the way it's set up. It's because most people didn't live to be 50, and most women either died in childbirth or they died in their early 40s. Okay, so she gets married at 15, 16 years old, and she makes it to 40. Okay, she's not married that long. And her and her husband are dead by that time. So death to us part makes a lot of sense. But thing is, the thing is, why do you pass these laws? Why are these things set out this way? And then trying to take an instrument, as Quigley says, okay, institute an instrument, as Quigley says, and put it in a different environment, expect it to run the same way, expect the same outcome. I think, to me, is, I wouldn't say nonsense, but the thing is, to me, it's foolish. But that's how come Jeff waited to the end to bring it up. Is because I don't like to argue it. Okay, if you want to get married, you want to say death do us part, and I know I have a couple of friends who are still married, and they've been married 50 years. God bless them. These are the lucky people. Okay, God bless them, and they've been through stuff. Okay, and that's why I actually did several videos called "Married to the Game." Okay. And my aunt, my mother, and older people, women, told me exactly why they stayed married to that man until he died. Okay, and it wasn't because of the man. It wasn't because of love. It's because they believed in marriage. And fences, okay, gives credence to the covenant marriage. Right? He had a baby on her. Why did he stay married? Why did she stay married? And one, she needed him, and two, that she believed in her marriage, even if he did have an outside baby. What does she believe in? And guess what? They don't believe. Go ahead.
I'm in agreement with that. I don't have an issue with that.
So if you get married in this environment, in a different game, expecting the same outcome, good luck. I got no problem with it. But the thing is, go ahead. I'm sorry.
But it's not that I expect the same outcome. I still want a win to be called a win and a loss to be called a loss. I can look at it and say, okay, well, half of these are going to fail, and it's even more likely under these circumstances, and maybe a little less likely under these other circumstances. I'm fine with that. I'm not delusional as to what is going on. I just don't like the idea of recharacterizing something that clearly is devastating and is a loss, and something that has been very much destructive. I don't want to. I'm just not going to characterize that as a.
That's your opinion. It's your opinion. That's your belief, and it just doesn't happen to be mine. That's all. We can disagree.
Well, and actually, in this point, it wasn't you per se that I was disagreeing with.
Okay.
It was the lead attorney that I was disagreeing. You just happened to cite.
I cited it is because guess what the data shows. Guess what the environment and the data is showing you, especially the goddamn black community. Okay, especially in the black community. And the thing is, if we really believed in marriage to death do us part, stuff like that, okay, there's nothing. The law says that you have to divorce your husband, or vice versa. Why do people do it? Because that's what we actually believe in, the wins and losses, and we want to win. Why do we do it? If that's what we actually believe, if that's how we frame it, to a woman or to a man, the loss is going to be if I divorce her or this marriage splits up. Why do we do it?
Well, so the other point I want to make, which I think relates to this, is I don't think that marriage is forever.
Okay.
So the point is, if the context for this is going to be to accept something that doesn't, that as I'm saying is not a win, that loses. Why play the game in the first place?
So, what percentage of people should be married?
Oh goodness.
Nah, I'm
So,
no, I'm gonna hold your feet to the fire. Okay, what percentage of people should be
sure.
married?
Okay, so with respect to populating the earth, the marriage is the best game in town for that.
I understand. Okay.
You have to have a.
You're going to get to my answer someplace, somewhere down the line. But I'll let you. I'll let you go. I'll give you some rope.
Yeah,
You'll
but,
an-
you have to be able to reproduce human beings.
Okay.
And if I'm saying that, I think that's the best scenario for reproducing human beings.
Okay.
I don't know what the percentage. I don't know.
No, Doc, you got a gut feeling. Give me a gut feel. A percentage of people you think should be married.
Half.
50%, which is what you have right now, right? 50%. Well, a little. It's actually 40, but okay. So, yeah. So if only 40% of people get married and they produce children, you think that's enough to actually keep the population up?
Well, it's not going to be hard to beat 1.6.
Well, okay. What? You're smart enough to know what is replacement level to keep a population stable?
Well, it's 2.1, but I mean, really, practically, that means that people would have to have 3 kids.
So, in other words,
married couples would have to have 3 kids.
Guess what the current fertility rate of black women are right now?
It's like 1.36.
1.36, and the best global. And guess what happens to the population is when it starts to dip below 1. 1.6. White people have been at 1.5 for almost 40 years, so it's not new for them.
Crazy.
It's not when you look at the. If you actually study Mouse Utopia and study fertility rates all over the world, it's the only place that is out of sync is Africa, right? It's because they're not developed. Every place else is below 2, well below 2. Right. And Korea is the shining example of how not to do it.
Yeah, is it South Korea or is it
South Korea? No, South Korea is 0.7 as we speak. As we speak, and dropping like a stone. So it's still dropping. China just dipped to 1 point. They used to be 1.3. Now they're at 1.1 or so, and dropping. Okay. So basically, there's outside of the continent, there aren't any people reproducing like that. But what I'm asking you, okay?
You need to send Pookie to South Korea.
Well, the women have to want to have babies. Okay.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah, but anyway, what I'm saying is, that's why I asked you what percentage of people should be married, and you said 50, and which is 40-50%, which is where we're at right now. Okay, and where are we at in the black community?
Oh, it's way less than that.
Okay.
Black women are at 26% or something, and black men are coming up to if Medium Man's statistics are accurate. We're pretty close to 40%.
The only way to actually change the parameters of marriage is to change the laws. Okay, it's the only way to do it, and they're not about to do that. Got to change the whole environment. Got to change the whole environment, and you're not going to do that, and that especially for black people, okay? And black people have never been. Black people used to have what they call walking divorces. They never got divorced on paper. In fact, a brother in the chat was saying that his grandmother had babies by 4 different guys, and he doesn't know who his biological grandfather is. Okay. So, and that's very common amongst black people. So when we talk about
what percent, how close to you? So with this walking divorce, if you counted that as an actual divorce, how close are the percentages back then to now?
Ooh, a walking divorce, I would say at least 25% walking divorce. In fact, I know even today I know a ton of people, black women are especially bad at this. Okay, I know a ton of black women have babies by other relationships, right, and still married to the same guy, still carry actually refused to actually get a divorce on paper. My best friend was married one, two, three times or four times, three times, one, two, three, four times, and got divorced once. That's very common. Now with the internet, now you have to, it's because it's going to catch up with you. Before the internet, oh, it was very common. In fact, Frazier talked about the walk-in divorce back then. With the Negro family, very common.
So basically, 25% plus whatever the divorce rate.
Yeah, probably about 25%. And that's like the marriage rate for black people were so high is because they didn't get divorced. Okay, on paper they didn't get divorced. They just we don't see eye to eye. I guess I'm gonna live over here. You're gonna live over there. I'm gonna have a baby for him. You're gonna produce a baby for her over there. Blah blah blah. And it was no big deal. Okay, it's just not on paper. And so until he dies and she figures out she's not gonna get any of his inheritance because she wasn't married to him. In fact, something just happened with on TikTok with the young lady, and her husband was deathly ill, and she realized she wasn't going to get anything because the wife was going to come in and get everything. And he hadn't been with his wife in like 15 years, so, but he's still married to her.
If I can digress for a moment,
go ahead.
I want something to be clear.
Mm-hmm.
So, to be fair, you
Mm-hmm.
were expressing an opinion,
Mm-hmm.
and opinions don't necessarily require documentation.
Mm-hmm.
So I think that's a fair critique.
And I was actually, and the opinion was on the spot, and it wasn't like I prepared for it. So.
Yeah. And on one of my videos, you made some comments, and honestly, I want to know where you got the statistic from. It's I'm trying to dispute what you're saying. I want to know. I want to know where you got it so I can find it myself.
Okay.
That was the reason that I said that. I wasn't saying it to try to shut you down.
Okay. But the thing is, you're not the only one. You're not the only one.
I just wanted to be clear that.
Yeah. Oh, I know you didn't. I know you don't have a vicious bone in your body. I know that you and Dr. Johnson don't have a vicious bone in your body. From a good place. So. But this happens so often, okay, that somebody can express an opinion and nobody says anything. But BGS says, I want to see the studies. Say, goddamn, you didn't ask him for the study. Anyway, as far as I showed you the one for cheating, I want to show you I'm gonna bring this one up for.
By the way, the one that you said that this is why 65% of women cheat.
Mm-hmm.
So the way that's phrased is it's saying this is the reason of the women that cheat.
Mm-hmm.
This is why 65% of them cheat,
mm-hmm.
or was it saying 65%?
I've read several studies, several things, and they don't make it clear. But that's where that's not even where I got it from. I've seen this. Where I got my opinion for cheating, and I said it during the interview. Okay, it's because of what I've seen, the people I talked to.
Sure.
And what I've seen the work husbands and work wives and stuff like that. In fact, there was one couple I knew that I worked with for 10 years, right? And I thought they were a couple. Because every place we went, they were together. When they go out on dates, every function, I seen them together, right? And then why do I walk in and I see his 25th marriage anniversary, and guess who's not in it? Her.
Was she at least better looking?
No, she was not. Okay. I'm looking for. Oh, I know where it is. Let me find it. Now, this the thing is, what I'm noticing, especially with the internet, they're starting to scrub a lot of this stuff. So I was telling somebody earlier, if you want to preserve, you see something, and I need to get into the habit of doing this. Okay, if you see something, then you need to screenshot it because it may not be there if you come back 6 months to a year later. And because actually, oh, that's not the one. Which one is it? Okay, that's medium. Okay, that's not what I want. This one. I want the image. Is that the one? Let's see. Okay. This is from '83, okay? And I've seen this more than once. In fact, it depends on the test. You ask you for a test, okay? 537 case in North Carolina, tested for 5 polymorphisms or HL antigens. It's the incompatibility between phenotypes of alleged father and those of the mother and child were found to be 40% of black males and 30% of white males. So, and I've seen this more than once. So that is one abstract, okay? Okay, it depends. It depends on the. Depends on
the link in the chat.
I'll find it for you. Okay, I'll actually send you the screenshot, but but the thing is, I've seen this more than once. Okay, in fact, I was looking for because what they used to post, and they used to do this every 2 years, right? They used to take a survey because they do like 300,000 or 400,000 paternity tests in the United States every year, right? And then what they used to do before they started racing and stuff is they used to do a survey. They used to take like 10,000, 15,000 a sample of the 300,000 paternity tests, right? And they would actually show the results. And basically, guess what? Now the 33% that you see is even ChatGPT and the AIs don't disagree, right? It's 33%. Okay, it's been that way for the last more than 20 years, probably 40 years. Okay, very very standard. Okay, we're the highest. Okay, and I've seen it as high as 41%.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah, when I did a quick search, I was able to find the 33%.
Very consistent.
I know the general population is 30%, so it's higher than the general population.
And the reason it's higher is because the black community is higher. Okay, I think it's between 25 to 28% for white people, Latinos a little less, and the lowest is Native American. So, which is like Asians and Asians like 18, and I think in Native America is like maybe 10 or 12. Okay, but thing is, black.
You're saying that the general stat of 30% is largely due to
the black false paternity rate. Yeah. Okay. Same thing with the divorce rate. Why is it skewed 10 or 15% higher? Is because the black divorce rate is so high, 70%. Okay. In fact, the black divorce rate is so out of whack. I was trying to tell Jeff, that's how come we're upside down as far as everybody. I mean, every freaking stat. Okay, and I don't mind. Okay, that we want to fix it, but thing is, you can't put this on the men. Okay.
Oh, no.
Can't put this on the men. If the women are happy with the way things are, you're not going to fix this. Okay. That's how come Dr. T. Me and Dr. Johnson actually. We're showing this video from 1970, okay? The same shit they brought up back in 1970 still exists today. They haven't settled it. 56 years. They haven't settled it. Okay? The same stuff keeps coming up over and over and over and over and over again. Okay, either one or two things. Either we are so screwed up that it can't be fixed, or women actually like the way things are. I'm beginning to actually believe the former.
Let me ask you this question: what percentage of the black community do you think is salvageable?
What what percentage? I would say maybe 15.
Okay. Maybe I'm more black pill than you are in this thing.
Okay.
I think it's 10%. I think it's 9 or 10%.
Okay. I mean, it could be. I mean, if you're willing to die on the hill for 10% of the community, would you want to be a community after that?
I'll die on the hill for the 9 to 10%, but I'm not dying on the hill for the black community.
So when we say the black community and fixing the black community, we have to define what we mean, because May said the same thing. I'm not down for the poor people that can't get their lives together. I said, well, you don't have a community then, okay? You got 90 million people. You have 90% of people. You got 30, 40 million people that are doing something the opposite. How are you gonna fix that? If you have to interact with them, unless you're gonna actually isolate yourself like the Mormons or or what do they call them? They call the people that are out on the farm in the middle of nowhere. I forget.
I've done a couple shows. This week,
Mm-hmm.
and I've delineated. So it's the difference between what I'm calling Keisha culture and
Mm-hmm.
black life.
Mm-hmm.
So now, Keisha culture certainly is a subset of black life,
Mm-hmm.
but not all black culture is Keisha culture.
No, but unfortunately, it's called the tangle of pathology. It's Keisha culture and black culture are all mixed in together. It's kind of hard to separate the two.
Well, what I'm saying is that black culture is this 10% that I think is salvageable.
Okay.
It doesn't mean that it's not. It doesn't mean that it hasn't been affected somewhat by Keisha culture, but it's more like. I've used this illustration. If I'm in a burning building,
Mm-hmm.
I'll tell you one time, follow me, and we can get out of here.
Mm-hmm.
Keisha's in there arguing with
Mm-hmm.
them. The 10%, they just follow me. They don't give me a lift. That's what I mean. But we're all still in the same building, and we're all being influenced by the same.
Yeah. Yeah. How are you gonna keep your kids from being influenced by Keisha culture?
Right. Well, I got my son in the Catholic school.
Yeah, you do.
Okay,
For now, or you gonna send them to college? Or you gonna send them to college? To China?
Yeah, it's rough, man. My son turns 13 on August 7th, so next week on Friday, and it scares me to death. Like what's going on in the world, and what his prospects are going to be.
Yeah, he's lucky. If that's his biggest problem when he gets to be an adult, okay, Keisha culture will be the least of his problems. Okay, so we have so many things getting ready to hit this society and this culture. Okay, I debate it, I talk about it, blah blah blah. But the thing is, Keisha culture in 10 years is going to be the least of your problems. The thing is, the black women actually want to survive and get through what we're getting ready to go through. They're going to have to change what they're doing. Otherwise, like I said, Keisha culture will be the least of your problems. Keisha culture exists is because there's enough money and wealth to allow them to do what they do. Okay, Keisha culture cannot exist in a different environment. And that environment of Keisha culture is rapidly collapsing. They got the first taste of it during COVID. That's why Kevin was so successful. Is because Keisha culture got a wake up call.
Did you see that? It's a New York Times podcast interactions. These three women, and they're talking about the sexless America. And they're talking about Gen Z in particular, millennials and Gen Z.
Yeah. That's happening. It is because dating. The reason you do dating and mating is because it's enjoyable. Okay, what happens when it's not? They've made it unenjoyable. Why should you date a woman to be and pay a whole bunch of money to be put on trial and not enjoy yourself? Does it make sense? You might do it once, you might do it twice, but eventually, guess what you're not going to do? You're not going to go out, you know. And the girls that you go to school with, they're so snarky and irritating. Why would you date them?
Yeah, this morning I did a show. This woman did what's her channel? Coffee Black something, and her or Coffee No Cream. That's what it is. Coffee
Okay.
No Cream.
Uh-huh.
And she's a professional black woman, and she did sort of a it's a combination of different episodes that she's done. Where they were talking about black women being mean. Just being mean. Right?
That's standard operating procedure for black women for the last 200 years. But go ahead.
But it's interesting because it's one thing if you hear
men say it. Yeah.
Well, it's not just if men say it. It's if you see you say a woman saying certain things because it's good for her algorithm, and because she can get some revenue coming that way. That's one thing. But this woman is clearly not is not that. She is, she seems to be pretty gynocratic, but she also is calling that out, which is pretty interesting.
This guy's because it's gotten way out of hand.
Right.
Yeah, and the gynocrats do not know how to get these women back in check, and they're begging men to do it for them. I'll let you know who she is off the air, but I'm not going to say her name out on the air, okay? Because I just did a show with her, okay? And she's 80 and she's been doing this for a long time, okay? And she's a gynocrat. She's a benevolent gynocrat, the old-fashioned kind, right? Covenant marriage, all that kind of crap, okay? And she calls them out too. It's gotten out of hand. There's a way to be. There's always been a gynocratic culture, okay, from the very beginning. But the thing is, the gynocrats actually had a heart and actually looked out for the members inside the society. What happens when they stop doing that? Especially in the 60s. They don't do that no more. Okay, that's how we have the society falling apart. Because for this black society actually succeed, the women have to do their job, and they're not. And what they do is blame the men. They blame Jermaine instead of looking in the mirror.
Yeah, that's that accountability thing is tough. For them, apparently.
And and I've been saying this forever. I used to tell Kevin this: black men can't save you. Okay, if you're unwilling, and I think as all the content creators start off purple pill, right? Okay. As they go up the ladder, they figure out, okay, if black women do not agree to change, okay, this stuff is not going to work. Now I know what people say, and men have this pride. They want to beat their chest that we're King Kong and we're so masculine we can actually overcome anything. And I say bunk. I'm not going to cuss, because I respect. I'm not going to cuss. I say bunk. I have a word for it. I'm not going to say it, but I say bunk. Okay.
They have to be willing to follow. If they're not willing to follow, it's a dead.
Okay, that's what Moynihan and the welfare system showed. Okay, they don't want to follow you. They never have. And as soon as they didn't have to, guess what they did? They jumped ship. Moynihan was stunned. Okay, because nobody else does that. So how come this group, okay, everybody else is doing this, everybody else is going right, and this group is going left? Why is that? That's why he stopped. He said, we have to study these people. There's something different about this group of people. And he said it's because of slavery and how we actually socialized during slavery and all the cruelty we went through slavery and Jim Crow, okay, it affected these people so badly that we actually destroyed their culture. You have to fix them. But guess what? Keisha don't want to be fixed.
let me ask you this, because I've heard you say this before, and I think we talked about this in our first interaction when I interviewed you on my channel 1,000 years ago. I was asking you about, we were talking about black community, black culture, and you mentioned something, you know, so really, black people are sort of cobbled together from like hundreds of tribes. And
thousands and thousands, not hundreds, thousands of tribes,
Yeah. So really don't have anything in common. And really the only thing that we had in common was slavery.
Slavery,
and slavery it was segregation.
Segregation.
With Jim Crow, they had that stuff in common, but nothing that was actually functional and useful.
You know why they did not give black women welfare? And Diane Stewart, as she found it in her book, okay? Why they didn't give her welfare?
What?
They needed the children's labor on the sharecropping plantation.
Right.
And if they gave her welfare, the kids didn't have to work. And they needed the woman's labor, and the children's labor. That's why they didn't give it to them until they didn't need it anymore. And then they gave them welfare in the late 50s, early 60s, and that's caused the schism. Which nobody will dig this up, and nobody will admit it. No. You know, the thing is, I dig up uncomfortable things. You know, all the stuff I dig up is uncomfortable. Okay. So that's why when I actually dig something up and I say that I found it, it's a fact. I think I'm very good at telling you where the stuff is. Probably more than most people.
I agree with that.
I very seldom give you something without giving you the source, at least, and most time more than one.
And like I said, and to be fair, you were expressing an opinion.
Yes.
So, and you're allowed to do that. So I'm not, and I don't, and perhaps that was unfair, that aspect of mine.
Well, if it was only you, I wouldn't mind. But thing is, I get this from Clarence, who has no facts. Okay. Clarence is a small time YouTuber, and every time he asks me a question, he actually wants me to prove it. Okay. Dude, where are your facts at? None. Okay. But I have to show him paper and argue sources and argue methodologies and all kind of stuff. So you are on mine, but thing is, I'm pointing this out to the audience. I said, why is it always me? Okay.
Yeah.
You know, it's I don't mind with you is because the thing is, I was trying to go back and dig the stuff where I actually found the studies and where they were at and actually show you, because I know what you want to do. I was trying to find it. The thing is, with search engines right now, they're cleansing a lot of stuff. There's stuff that I found I should have screenshot that's not there anymore. I go back and look for it. The shit's not there no more. Excuse me. The stuff is not there anymore.
I know that's true because there was something that I frequently would just use a particular search term and could find easily all the time that I used to read on my show frequently. And it was this sort of, it was like an inverted litany.
Yes.
This, from the beginning of the second wave of feminists.
Yeah.
Where they're basically declaring what it was that their goals were.
Yeah.
And I used to read that. Carrie Gress had that in her book, and I could easily find it.
Yeah.
And then I had to go and find it some other kind of way, and then I just screenshot it.
Yeah.
Because, they're definitely scrubbing a lot of this stuff. And
yeah.
AI is just as propagandized as everybody else.
Yeah. And the thing is they they need men to be more blue pill. Okay, is because without the blue pill males that build society will collapse, and they're afraid. So they're starting to scrub a lot of this stuff that we actually talk about. They're starting to scrub. There's a reason that France does not allow paternity tests.
Yeah.
I'm saying some people say it's 1% false paternity. Some people say it's as high as 40. Right? I just saw an article before it was sure. From Botswana, right? It's 75% false paternity that they found in a few studies. and a national study, 75%. So in Botswana.
I'm not surprised. Yeah, and I'm not surprised. In France, I wouldn't be surprised
Mm-hmm.
if it would be quite high because of how liberated they've been for so long.
The thing is, there's a reason that France did what they did is because it causes a social strife if people find out that the baby ain't yours. Okay, they don't want that kind of disruption. Same thing with the UK is trying to scrub it now. So this study is coming out that it's only 1 or 2%. Okay, which okay, so you read the study, they're talking about not even talking about a DNA study. Oh, cystic fibrosis that over years, it's about maybe 15,000 people. Okay, you do this DNA test every year with 500,000 people. Okay, every year, and you have this stuff recorded in a computer. You could take the whole database and put up a study if you wanted to. How come you don't? Why you just pick 15,000 people as a survey instead of taking the whole database? Having AI run through it and put the data up, because you have the race of the person, the sex of the person, you have all of that stuff in that database. How come you don't do it? It's not random. It's not secret. Okay, you can randomize. You don't need the names. Okay, you can just put it up there. They don't want to do it. They do this every year. Jamaica, they call it a jacket, right? Jamaica did a recently, before they passed the law, right? That's the reason Jamaica passed that law about paternity testing at birth. Okay, is because they did a study. It was 90% false paternity.
Oh, goodness gracious!
They had a study that had 90%. A year later, they passed paternity testing at birth. Okay, I would love everybody to get tested, and whatever the numbers are, the numbers are.
Yeah, I mean that's what I think it should be. I reviewed a story. This was better than a year ago about Kirk Franklin.
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah.
Yeah, and he didn't know his dad. And his mother lied to him about who his father was, and so he thought this guy was his father this whole time, and he was at his deathbed, thinking that this guy was his father.
Right.
It turns out later that he was not his father, and
Yeah.
his mother still to this day will not admit what the paternity test showed.
Guess who else said
Still
that?
will not give him closure.
Tyler Perry said the exact same thing. They're not the only one. Tyler, the mother lied to him to his face still to this day. Even with 2 tests, she still lied. She still lied. Okay. Same thing with cheating. That's like cheating self-reported. I don't believe it is because women lie. And all of a sudden, because of the internet, now the percentage is starting to jump about women cheating because it's self-reported.
So this is one of the things that I was taking some issue, at least with the way that it was framed.
Mm-hmm.
I know that it is it's high anyway. Whatever the number is, it's
Mm-hmm.
high.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't dispute that.
Mm-hmm.
As far as a way to access a study or data that would show that it is as high as you were suggesting,
right?
That was my.
It's not going to happen because it's self-reported. Nobody's going to admit that.
Right. So but what do you think about surveys that are done anonymously? Do you think that a significant percentage of women are still going to lie?
Yeah, I believe. Yeah, I think they're still going to lie. Personally. Yeah, men overcount and women undercount. Okay, for a man cheating is a flex. For a woman cheating, it's a shame. So I still think they will actually lie. They lie about body count. How many men you been with? 4. Come on, man. Come on, baby. I know 4 or 5 of your old boyfriends. How you gonna say 4? You got 4 different baby daddies. You only been with 4 guys? Really?
It just, he had kids with everyone that she had sex with. The first time.
The first time, yeah, yeah. In fact, I used to do that all the time, right? Okay, I got pregnant by my college boyfriend or my boyfriend after college, blah blah blah, right? Okay, and it was an accident. I didn't mean for it to happen. Yada 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 yada. I said, okay, you never been pregnant before? No. So is this the first time you had sex? They get quiet. No. So how many men between, and so when you first start having sex, I say about 15. So between 15 and 21 or 22, you never got pregnant? No. Okay. So I'm not gonna ask you how many guys. I'm assuming it's more than 4, right? They say yes. Okay. So why are the 4 other guys didn't get you pregnant, but this guy did? Why is he so lucky? And they get quiet. He wanted to have his baby. Stop lying to me. And Charles just did it to one of his girlfriends, and a gay guy that was eavesdropping started laughing. And she said, "I had a baby by blah blah blah," and Charles said, "What about 1 through 5?" And the guy started laughing. Okay. My women's channel had only one rule. Okay. That you be honest. You can say anything you wanted, you express any opinion, just be honest about your opinion. Don't lie to me. You can do that, we're good.
The way I think about the body count question, I think that if you're serious, I think you have to ask the question. I know that women are highly incentivized to lie.
Yes, they are.
Okay, I understand that that's the case, but I still think you have to ask the question. And,
yeah.
And then from the woman's perspective, I think it actually is a key into if a guy is actually interested in them in something serious or just for fun, is if he asks the body count question. Because he don't care if he's just for some fun.
Yes,
he
true.
Don't care about it.
He doesn't care about it.
If he asks the question, then that actually does communicate that he actually is considering.
Consider keeping you around, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. And the thing is, the body count question, when people know when it gets over a certain amount, I think it used to be 3, I think it's 5, it might be 10 now. I don't know exactly how men think nowadays, okay? How many is too many? Men will start to see you differently.
Yep.
Okay. Men will keep you around, but they're going to put you in a different category. If you got one body and you marry that body or whatever, okay, he's going to see you differently than a woman that's had, 100 bodies or 15 bodies or whatever it is. He's going to see you differently. He's going to put you in a different category.
I think most men are okay with single digits. I think once it starts to get into double digits, that's when it's done.
Yeah, I think nowadays, I think when I was coming up as a boomer, anything over, I would say 3 or 4, okay, there was questions, okay. And I've dated high body count women, and there is a difference. And studies have shown anything over 5 will start to impact her ability to actually bond. And in my opinion, and Rom says this all the time, okay? If she got over 5 bodies, come home early one day and make sure.
Well,
because
you don't want to come home. You come home to she hate me with the scene and she hate me.
yeah.
But not with the good, not with the desirable ending.
Yes. Yeah.
Just for her kicking you to the curb. Telling you that you dusty on the way.
And Rom and cousin Tita would tell you, they would actually agree with me about the percentage of women cheating. They really would. So I'm not the only one. There's a side of the what we call the black pill side. They actually deal in female flesh. They will tell you what I'm saying. It's probably closer to the truth. But like I said, that's why he asked me what do I believe that people will actually disagree with. That's why I mentioned that one. And I said, that's my belief. I didn't say I had proof or I had studies, nothing. I said that's what I believe, according to what I've observed and people that I've talked to. That's what when I say I believe something, I'll say I believe it, and I'll tell you why. Actually explained why I believe what I believe because he asked me. And I know the guys that creep. I know the guys that I know a lot of the backdoor guys. In fact, one of my friends used to call him the second story guy because he's the one that's leaping off the balcony to get away. So, so that's how I frame what I frame, and it's not just the lower classes. It's all the way up to people that are millionaires. Okay, in fact. Pimp Guy was just telling a story about a woman whose husband was made millions, right? And she did what she did with him. So and that's very common. So that's what I believe. Okay. The only way to vet that, as far as a woman that won't cheat, is she has to believe in it that cheating is not acceptable to me under any circumstances. Okay, and there used to be women like that, more women out there like that, but not anymore. I think most women are open to it. Okay, used to be the hardcore women that I won't cheat because I don't cheat. I won't divorce my husband because I won't divorce my husband. But I think those days are those women are far and few in between right now. And,
it's tricky.
Yeah, and with the thing you said 10% can be saved. Guess what? What did I say? 80 to 90%, right? Right in that wheelhouse.
Yeah.
Right in that wheelhouse. Okay.
Yeah, ancient history. I've said this a few times on my platform. Ancient history before before I met my wife. It's difficult to find one that is willing to wait.
Yeah,
and they only want to test out the merchandise.
Yeah, and you had to go to a very specific environment to find the woman that you found.
I did, and I'll admit that a lot of it was luck.
Mm-hmm.
And I wish I could. Now, I'll give myself some credit for asking all the questions that I did before we ever met to a bunch of people that knew her and that
right, too. Exactly.
I'll give myself that credit, but it's a lot of it's luck. I had to kiss a lot of frogs, and I would not in this environment with the way that it is now. I don't know that I'd be kissing a bunch of frogs.
Yeah, and in your profession, in your environment, that was just standard. What I'm saying is standard in the environment that you worked in. As a musician, that's standard. In fact, you're probably the outlier in that environment. I would pretty much guess that you do. They thought you were actually the odd duck because you didn't engage in the same thing they engaged in.
Yeah, it's interesting. There's the opinion. I reviewed what was it? Lecrae is a content creator. He's got a big channel. Lecrae tends to do kind of like black church kind of
black church
adjacent kind of things.
Okay.
Well, kind of adjacent sort of topic things. And he had B. Simone.
Oh, okay.
This other woman that had two kids by two different fathers. She was divorced. That was the women on the panel. The other two guys, one of them was 31, one of them was 38. The guys, they're both virgins.
Okay.
So, and it's not like they haven't, gone on dates and hung out with women and stuff like this, but they just, they're virgins.
Okay.
And it's Simone. She's saying, "Hey, this is the first time I'm trying to do it the right way." She's got a lot of bodies. And then the other one saying that the other woman saying that she's fine, she's satisfied in her own self, and she doesn't need to get married again and all this kind of stuff.
Again,
the guys are like they would like to get married at some point in time.
Okay.
But I don't think that this is altogether cherry picked. I think it's a pretty accurate representation of what's going on as far as the women having a lot of activity, having had a lot of experience. The guys, particularly the more serious-minded guys, they're actually not messing around with this.
Which they are. They are. There's more of them now than there used to be, but they still are rare. That are complete virgins. I think the Gen Z, especially the younger Gen Zs, there's a lot more virgins out there. But thing is, a guy that's millennial, 38, that's rare. That's rare to see a man make to 38 and he's a virgin. That's really rare. Without being asexual.
I'll say it's rare, but it's also. These guys all of these people are all church folks.
Okay.
So I think it's a little less rare in a church environment. I think both of them are like preacher's kids.
Okay. Yeah, I know some preacher kids, but
I know they usually go wild.
I'm gonna mention that. Yeah, the thing is, which is one of the reasons that I kind of left the church is because too much of that stuff was actually going on. But anyway.
Well, thanks for entertaining this discussion and for taking a look at my disagreement and then being willing to talk to me about it.
Yeah. The thing is, I want to explain why I disagree with it and stuff like that because you had very strong. Seems you had very strong feelings about it. Okay. It wasn't just you had strong feelings about it. That's why I decided to do it. Is because I get very good reasons why I say what I say. I just, I don't. Some things I can prove, some things I can't. But the thing is, I got very good reason why I say what I say, and why that's why I showed the lead attorney, and I think James Sexton. I could have shown James Sexton. There's a couple others that I could have actually shown. Okay, why I believe what I believe, and I understand why people frame what they frame. But the thing is, different environment. Okay, different environment. Okay. That's why I showed him. He said he actually did this for 20 years as far as a divorce attorney. He sees all this stuff come across his desk, and I agree with him. Okay, protect your neck when you get in a ring. Protect yourself at all costs. Get a prenup, and if it fails or if the marriage goes kaput, okay. Got to reframe what success is to you. Otherwise, you're going to be pretty heartbroken. And I've seen people heartbroken over stuff, okay? Because they put too much belief into something, okay? Without thinking that it's actually going to succeed and make it to the end, okay? All right. Believe if you want to. In fact, me and Dr. Johnson are actually supposed to do a video on Great Divorce, which is big right now. Biggest growing group of divorces is actually people over 50. Women over 50.
Yeah, it's kind of like what's the point
of it? That's why I say get your return ROI from day one. Know why you're getting into it. Okay. Define what success is to you in a marriage. Okay, you got to define it. Don't say because my grandma or great grandma, this is what they had, that's what I want. Okay, fine. If that's what you want, okay, then you might get disappointed. You probably will get disappointed, especially if you're black. Okay, but realistically define what your parameters are, what success means to you. Okay, protect yourself, and so when she leaves, okay, you're not broken up by it. Okay, it happens. Like LeVar Ball, he wasn't broken up. He wasn't unhappy. He wasn't. I'm gonna drink myself to death. Hey, we had a good run. Okay, just like the Lakers like the Bulls breaking up. Okay, they weren't heartbroken
Well,
that Michael Jordan didn't retire a Bull. We had a good run.
yeah. Look, I agree that you shouldn't idolize marriage. I think that's a problem.
Mm-hmm.
I think you have to have something that is your sort of center point,
Yeah.
the thing that you're driving towards,
Mm-hmm.
so that whatever else is happening around you is not going to chop you down at the ledge.
It used to be that way. Okay, that's why. Like I said, my mother, my aunts, all were married to their husbands to the day they died, and I asked them all why. Okay, were they perfect? Yada yada. No. And the uncle that I thought was perfect, guess what? He wasn't. Not even close. Okay. So I asked him, so why do you stay married? It's because he believed in marriage.
Well, that's not what I mean. I mean,
Mm-hmm.
I think you can believe in marriage, but
Mm-hmm.
the reason I believe in marriage is a lot deeper than marriage.
Yeah, I agree.
You know, so it's that other thing that is the sort of guiding force. It's not
Mm-hmm.
marriage that has become sort of like the end all. So
Mm-mm.
if it ended, I wouldn't like it, but it's not going to destroy.
Yeah. But the thing is, your outlook on marriage and mating and stuff like that. Even though I know you know you were married once before, okay,
That's right.
and
Second
so
that bet.
and same thing with Jeff, okay, and so you should know the downside of it, okay. And but I don't like people saying, I don't like people saying that if it goes past 10 years, doesn't go past 10 years or 30 years or 40 years, it's a failure. Okay, I don't see it that way. And that's why I introduced lead attorney and sexton and all these kind of people, is because what are the parameters for success and failure in a given environment? Okay.
I understand. I got your take. I still don't want to call something a loss a loss.
Well,
I totally understand.
and I agree. I agree with your belief in your opinion. Okay, I agree with that. I'm just clarifying mine.
I got you.
All right, Doc. Go do what you do. Anything coming?
Going to pick my son up at.
All right. Oh, cool. What position does he play?
Wide receiver.
Oh, all right. Okay. Got to work on them 40s, huh?
Yeah, he's got great hands. He's a possession receiver.
Okay.
So he's going to get the ball a lot.
Okay. And you got to. How old is he now?
He'll be 13 on August 7th, so next week.
So he need to go find a sprint coach to get that speed up. Michael Jordan did the same thing. Uh huh.
Yeah. We definitely want to do that. I've been having him do some weight training. He's training with me in the gym.
Yeah.
Trying to get him some strength.
Some strength, and also basically, if you can find a track coach that does weight training, get a sprint. They do very specific things to actually increase speed.
Okay.
All right, that's what I would do.
All right, I'll check into that.
All right, Doc, go do what you do.
All
right. Peace. AB Media said you'll be on at 8, talking about Brittany Renner's crashing. Oh, man, the tragic mulatto is back in the news, okay? All right, good people, okay? Hope y'all enjoyed that. I actually wanted to clarify that is because, man, I get so much of this crap, man. I'm not saying Doc is crap. What I'm saying, I get so much of this stuff about the community and marriage and dating and mating and black love and yada yada. Okay, it is what it is. Okay, that's why I tell black men, man, go find something that makes you happy. Don't worry about the community. Don't put up with Keisha just because. Okay. It ain't your job to say to the community. If Keisha's not willing to work with you, then go do something else. Passport, bro. Marry out. Whatever it is. My son is not married to a black woman, okay? He's married to a Latina. Why? Because she makes him happy. He gets a better results from her. His mama is damn near Sudanese black, okay? That's how dark she is, okay? She ain't yellow black. She black. Okay, and he picked the exact opposite of her, and not because of the way she looks. It's because of the way he's treated. Anyway, so I tell men, go be happy. Don't worry about them. Dirty Foot says the same thing. Okay, don't worry about them. You know, I might do. There's something that Austin Hollerman did about people traveling overseas, especially young people traveling overseas and trying to relocate. I might do that one tomorrow because what he said is spot on. A lot of stuff he said is spot on. And a lot of people jump over thinking. A lot of people jump over to Thailand or Asia or the continent thinking they're gonna actually get there and take over and start business and stuff like that. Okay, different environment. Okay, they're not. You know, that's how come a lot of black people come back to the States. Okay, it's because money ran out. Been married 35 years. I could not, in good conscience, recommend younger black men do the same. I got very lucky. Okay, he did. I got very lucky. Got very lucky. And I'm not telling you what to do, what not to do, what not to try, whether you go trick, whether you get married, whether you have kids, yada yada. My thing is be aware of the environment, protect yourself. Okay. Do things to put things in place when you protect. When we go overseas, man, make sure you got a source of income that doesn't depend on the environment that you're in, unless the environment will feed you. Okay, if the environment, some people go over there and teach English, yada yada yada. But the thing is, unless you have something there that's solid, because you're going in a different environment, man, don't go over there willy nilly, thinking, oh, it's cheap, I can do yada yada yada. You can do that for a couple of months. But after that, then you're going to have to really be in that environment and socialize into that environment. It's not always easy, okay? Not supposed to be easy, okay? It's like throwing a freshwater fish into salt water, okay? Ain't going to be easy, boss. You're going to have to adapt. Situation of awareness will help. The thing is preparation and putting your safety checks in place before you go over. I always tell people at least visit the place at least 3 or 4 times before settling. Don't just go over there the first time and pack your stuff. Okay, visit a week, a month, 2, and then say, okay, I can find my way in this particular environment, and then come back with your stuff because now you know. But people are impulsive because they see they see this fabulous stuff on video where this guy has actually adapted. I got this fabulous apartment, blah blah blah, and they get over there and say, find out life is still life. Okay, same thing with getting married. Yada yada yada. Well, black women are this. We know black women are tough. Black women are mean. Black women are who they are. If you want them, you have to accept them about being who they are. And if that's good enough for you, get married to them and try to make it work. If not, make a different choice. That's all I'm saying. Black men search the globe for peace, respect, fairness, and a voice. Yeah, that's true. Okay. In other words, we'll talk about that tomorrow. Okay. I actually want to do the Dr. Thunder thing is because I want to respond to him, and he asked why I think something and where the studies are, and some of the studies that I had found I can't find. Okay, but I found a couple that say that what I'm saying is not completely out of bounds, because I have seen it. I've seen it more than once, and about marriage. You know, I don't know what the argument is. Okay, I don't know what the argument is. Okay, most marriages don't last 5 years. Okay. Don't last 10 years, especially in the black community. So, you know, to expect the death do us part, blah blah, expecting marriage to actually last you a lifetime, especially in the black community, in this environment, okay, you know, and being disappointed if it doesn't go the distance. Okay. I don't know what to tell you. Anyhow, we get out of here. Said people need to take an extended visit before. Yeah, I would say so. Yeah, I would say so. The first thing I tell people, but people don't listen. No, man, I'm so macho. I'm so forthright. I'm so successful. I can go over there and take over. Okay, man. I'm surprised I'm on year 11. Yeah, you know what? Even Dr. Thunder says, okay, preparation and luck. Preparation and luck, especially in this environment. If you're on year 11, man, you need to hold on to her tight, especially if you're getting what you want. I'm not saying don't get married, or but what I'm saying is attenuate your expectations, okay? And when it's over, it's over, okay? Hopefully the kids are grown and the bills are paid off. You have enough money left over to actually split and go live a comfortable life. And when it's over, it's over. Don't like LeVar Ball. He's not bitter. People want him to be bitter. He's not bitter. Okay, he got his leg cut off because he drinks. Okay, that's diabetes. Okay, he's the least bitter person on the planet because his marriage dissolved. Okay, but people say, "Oh, yeah, she abandoned him." He's good with it. He's not crying. I said the dearest female relatives and friends are not on your side. You're dead in the water of on the marriage. Yeah. In fact, his in-laws loved him, so his in-laws were on his side. But the thing is, sometimes the ride is over, and they were already seeing other people by the time they split up. So and the kids are fine with it. You know what? I love my dad. I love my mom. It was time for the marriage to end, and they accepted it. Anyway, let me get out of here. Year 18. Year 18. Yeah. See? Well, the thing is, he found gold. Okay, gold is not everywhere. He found gold. He found gold. I have a best friend. He is married to his high school sweetheart. They met when they were 16 years old. They're still together, and so they've been together 51 years. Yeah, almost 51 years. And trust and believe, he's not a perfect person. Yeah. LeVar Ball got what he wanted out of it. To LeVar Ball, his marriage was actually a success to him. That's why I said how it's framed. So anyhow, let me get out of here, y'all, and I will see you guys tomorrow, hopefully. And as always, I'm in YouTube jail. Put money on my books. If you got $1. The $1 holler. I don't ask for much. And I'll see y'all later.
Hey, yo, lesson here, babe. You come at the king, you best not miss.
And with that, I just have two more words to say. Obama out.